from refusing to leave after elimination.
Chef, please! Chef, please don't say that!
To putting meat on dirty trays.
You dirty Yes, chef. Clean the f***ing tray!
These are the biggest meltdowns in Hell's Kitchen history. Starting with Hurricane Nilka. It was episode 10 of season 7, and only 7 chefs remained in the competition. The stakes were higher than ever, and Gordon had announced something that would make even seasoned chefs sweat. A strict 2.5-hour time limit to complete the entire dinner service. Miss that deadline, and everyone would suffer. Chef Nilka had started the day strong. During the 10-pound lobster challenge, she'd confidently grabbed her team's massive crustacean, kissed it, and declared she was excited because she knew how to cook lobster. But sometimes, confidence can be your worst enemy in Hell's Kitchen. From the moment service started, Nilka was struggling. Her first batch of scallops came back raw, which immediately put her behind the rest of the crew.
You, madam, wake up!
I'm up, chef!
But Nilka was already spiraling. The pressure of the ticking clock, combined with Gordon's increasingly frustrated commands, began to break down her confidence. When her turbot came back raw, instead of calmly putting it back in the pan like any professional chef would do, Nilka did something shocking.
That's raw, Nilka. It's raw. I gave her the piece of fish to put back in the pan.
As the service continued, Nilka's panic became more and more visible. She was fumbling with equipment, dropping plates, and completely losing her ability to communicate with her teammates. When she went to grab lobster from the convection oven, she dropped the entire metal plate, the clatter echoing through the kitchen like a death knell. Her teammates tried to help, but Nilka was past the point of recovery.
I'm sorry. I didn't come here to lose. I'm not weak. I don't know about I'm crying right now.
Get a fucking grip.
When Nilka returned to her station, she seemed momentarily composed. She managed to get her scallops accepted, giving everyone hope that she might pull through. But that hope was short-lived. The breaking point came when she sent up a lobster with the wrong sauce. Then, in a moment that would define her Hell's Kitchen legacy, she sent up another lobster that was completely raw. Gordon had reached his limit.
Look at me! Look at me! Out! Get out!
But Nilka refused to leave, and what happened next had never been seen before in Hell's Kitchen history.
Nilka! No, I'm in the middle of service. Take your jacket off and get out of Hell's Kitchen.
Yes.
She even tried to jump back onto her station and continue cooking, as if she could somehow undo her elimination through sheer force of will. This is when Chef Ramsay had had enough and ordered Benjamin to physically remove her from the kitchen.
Get her out of here!
Even after being escorted out, Nilka's emotional state was heartbreaking to watch. While Nilka had to be physically removed from the kitchen, our next chef chose the opposite. In 12 seasons of Hell's Kitchen, only one chef earned a coveted black jacket and then shocked everyone by quitting mid-service. That chef was Joy Parham-Thomas, whose dramatic exit in season 12 became one of the most controversial moments in the show's history. By episode 18, Joy had proven herself as one of the strongest competitors of season 12. She'd survived elimination after elimination, earned her black jacket, and was just 4 chefs away from the finale. The stakes couldn't have been higher. Comic book legend Stan Lee was dining at the chef's table, and Gordon had made it clear that the competition was dead even. But sometimes, the closer you get to the prize, the more the pressure can crush you. For a while, Joy seemed to be holding her own on the fish station, working alongside Rochelle on meat. That's what made what happened next so shocking. 2 hours into service, everything changed. Joy was working on halibut, while Rochelle needed more time on her Wellingtons. In the heat of service, Joy walked up her fish before Rochelle was ready. Gordon reminded her that he needed the sauce first, and refused to stop and start the timing. But for some reason, that sent Joy over the edge.
If you feel like I'm holding the kitchen up and I'm slowing everything down, how about I'll leave and you can have somebody else work fish?
And when Gordon tried to pull her aside to explain the timing, she showed even more attitude and actually walked away from him mid-explanation, something that had never been seen before in Hell's Kitchen.
I'm done.
You're done.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone.
Boy, stop.
I'm done with this shit.
Despite Rochelle and Melanie begging her not to quit, Joy took off her jacket and walked straight back to the dorms to pack her bags. Gordon followed her, trying to reason with her, calling out her selfish attitude for giving up over one mistake. But the argument that followed showed just how completely Joy had lost perspective.
I'm trying to tell you.
No, you're not telling me. No, you're not. You're arguing. You're arguing, you're shouting.
I'm done.
Hey, I know you've done it.
Joy walked away from her dreams in a moment of anger, but her next chef's meltdown wasn't just personal, it was public, embarrassing, and happened during one of the most meaningful services of the season. Sometimes in Hell's Kitchen, a single service can destroy a chef's entire reputation, and in Season 17's Charity Night, Barbie Marshall experienced what Gordon Ramsay called the worst charity night performance in the show's history. Hell's Kitchen was closed to the public for a special charity event, with the red team cooking for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, and the blue team for Shane's Inspiration. For Barbie, this was deeply personal as she had lost her father to lung cancer. The two teams would prepare a 5-course menu where each chef would oversee their own course to serve their 12 top tables simultaneously. But from the moment service began, everything that could go wrong for the red team did go wrong. The trouble started early when the red team got demolished in the blind taste test, losing 8-2 to the blue team. Barbie was the only one who showed any competence, correctly identifying 2 out of 4 ingredients, while her teammates struggled with basic flavors. During the punishment, the team's dysfunction became crystal clear. When sous chef Christina asked if they could promise a good dinner service, Dana flat out refused to make that promise, specifically saying she didn't believe in Barbie. The battle lines were drawn, and Barbie was already isolated before service even began.
I don't know,
You
Chef.
don't know.
Did everybody have 10 in their pants?
Yes.
I had 10.
Michelle, did you forget how to count?
Then, Michelle discovered she was missing 3 scallops, with nobody knowing what happened. The team's communication was already breaking down, with Elise accusing Michelle of miscounting, while chaos reigned in the kitchen. While the red team managed to get their lobster spaghetti out first, it was only because the blue team had to fix their oversized portions. A lucky break that wouldn't last. Yet, this is where things really fell apart. Elise took control and started bossing everyone around like a dictator, while Michelle's sauce was a complete disaster. When Gordon discovered the bland mess, both women erupted into a screaming match over who was to blame. And as the embarrassed red team scrambles to start over, the diners at the Shane's Inspiration table actually began heckling them for their disastrous performance. This was Barbie's moment to shine, overseeing the beef filet Rossini course. But the pressure of the previous disasters, combined with her team's fractured state, created the perfect storm for a complete meltdown. When Barbie asked Michelle to help with onions, Michelle mentioned she had promised Dana to help with desserts. That simple conflict ignited Barbie's fuse. She sternly reminded Michelle of her earlier promise, but the tension was building. Then, Gordon discovered the potatoes were burnt and started throwing them all over the place.
He's throwing things.
Something.
He's
What is he throwing?
He's throwing our, that's our food. That's our dinner. That's our dinner.
Oh my God.
But the real breaking point came when Michelle told Barbie to watch the beef while she handled the garnish. Something in Barbie snapped. She aggressively screamed at Michelle for the spinach in a moment that has gone down in Hell's Kitchen history.
Let's go, please.
I need that spinach, please.
Worry about your beef.
How about I get that spinach, Michelle?
Despite Michelle getting the garnishes ready, Barbie continued to argue with her teammates over plating, creating a toxic atmosphere that Gordon found dismaying. The course eventually went out, but the damage was done.
Oh my God. This is not how to run a course.
Barbie, you are sinking like the Titanic right now.
The red team had failed spectacularly, turning what should have been a meaningful charity event into a complete embarrassment. While the blue team celebrated their winning streak, the red team faced the harsh reality of their dysfunction.
I'm not giving up, Chef. That's sloppy, Barbie. Can you please just pour the sauce at least? I will. I'll do it right.
During elimination, Barbie's attempts to defend herself only made things worse. She blamed distractions for the burnt potatoes and brought up the garnish incident with Michelle again, showing she had learned nothing from the disaster. Barbie was eliminated for her aggressive leadership and failure to bounce back. Her parting interview was equally telling. She angrily insisted she wasn't the worst chef, showing the same defensive attitude that had contributed to her downfall. Barbie's aggressive leadership destroyed team morale during a charity event, but sometimes individual incompetence can be just as devastating. Such as when a chef's complete inability to master a basic technique becomes so catastrophic that Gordon has no choice but to pull the plug mid-service. That's exactly what happened to Kevin Cottle in season 15, whose scallop struggles became so embarrassing that he earned the rare dishonor of a mid-service elimination. It was family night at Hell's Kitchen, with families dining alongside special guests, including 10-year-old Millie Bobby Brown. The atmosphere should have been celebratory, but for Kevin, it became a nightmare that exposed his fundamental lack of basic cooking skills. Kevin was stationed on appetizers, handling scallops, one of the most basic tests of a chef's competence in Hell's Kitchen. Scallops cook in about 90 seconds and require nothing more than proper timing and temperature control. For any professional chef, it should be second nature. Yet, Kevin was about to prove that some chefs simply don't belong in a professional kitchen. The disaster began immediately. While his teammate Alan's dishes needed 5 minutes to cook, Kevin's scallops only required the 90 seconds, a massive timing advantage that should have made coordination easy. Instead, Kevin managed to drop his scallops entirely, forcing his team to start over on their very first table.
Why is he dropping the scallops? All you're doing is just fucking him and fucking him and fucking them.
Yes, chef.
When Kevin finally managed to get scallops to the pass, they came back overcooked.
Yeah, they're fucking overcooked.
Come here, all of you. Look at them. It's pathetic and it's embarrassing. Get it together.
Chef Ramsay personally stepped in to show Kevin how to cook scallops. This almost never happens. Gordon literally gave Kevin a private cooking lesson in the middle of service, demonstrating the proper technique step by step. Any chef worth their salt would have absorbed this lesson and corrected their mistakes. Kevin somehow managed to make things worse. After receiving personal instruction from one of the world's most renowned chefs, Kevin sent up his next batch of scallops. The result was so spectacularly bad it defied belief. Kevin managed to create scallops that were both burnt and undercooked at the same time. It's a culinary impossibility that somehow became reality under his incompetent hands. Chef Ramsay was furious. He had just shown Kevin exactly how to cook scallops, and Kevin had managed to fail even more dramatically than before. Gordon's patience finally snapped. He dragged the entire blue team into the pantry room and delivered Kevin's death sentence.
You
I am fucking up,
do
chef.
me a big favour.
Yes, chef.
Yeah? Get your apron off, get packed, and fuck off out! First, get out! Get out!
Yes, chef.
Mid-service eliminations are extremely rare in Hell's Kitchen, reserved only for the most catastrophic failures. Kevin had earned this dubious honor through sheer incompetence, proving that even with direct instruction from Gordon Ramsay himself, he couldn't master a 90-second cooking technique.
Who's next?
Gordon asked the remaining blue team members, making it clear that Kevin's failure had put everyone's position in jeopardy. Now, our final chef managed to turn Gordon's signature dish into a personal nightmare that somehow kept him in the competition, despite everyone expecting him to go home. In Hell's Kitchen, the Wellington is the ultimate test of a chef's meat cooking abilities. It's Gordon Ramsay's signature dish, and getting it wrong is like insulting the man's entire culinary legacy. In Season 5, Ben Walanka turned what should have been a showcase of skill into an absolute catastrophe that had Gordon personally targeting him for elimination. It was Episode 7, and the blue team was already reeling from Jay's mid-service elimination. With one chef down and the pressure mounting, Ben found himself on the meat station, the most crucial position during a dinner service. This was his moment to step up and prove his worth. Instead, he was about to deliver one of the most disastrous Wellington performances in Hell's Kitchen history. From the moment service started, Ben was struggling. While his teammates tried to coordinate around Jay's sudden departure, Gordon's warning was ominous. You're not rising up. Then came the first major failure. Ben sent up Wellingtons that were stone cold. In a kitchen where timing is everything, sending up cold food is the cardinal sin. But Gordon tried to help by suggesting he use a convection oven instead of the normal oven. It was a lifeline that Ben was about to waste spectacularly. Even with Gordon's guidance, Ben continued to struggle. His performance became so poor that Gordon delivered a devastating personal assessment.
Do you know why?
I don't know, Chef.
I want you out. You're not cutting it. You're dreaming.
Those words should have been a wake-up call. Instead, Ben managed to make a situation infinitely worse. Gordon caught Ben putting raw Wellingtons on a dirty tray.
Why are you putting them on a dirty tray?
Chef and his son.
Dirty!
When Ben returned from the pantry, he was visibly shaken. But the damage was done. Ben's Wellington disaster had single-handedly destroyed the blue team's service. His teammates were watching him crumble in real time, and everyone knew he was living on borrowed time. Ben survived elimination despite everyone, including Gordon, expecting him to go home. When Gordon asked who the worst performing chef was that night, Ben could only answer that he was. Gordon agreed completely, yet somehow Ben kept his jacket. His survival seemed to confuse even Ben himself. And honestly, who can blame him?